Greetings everybody, welcome to Spirit Dust Fashion. Today I've got some more Pokemon fashions in mind for you. Now for this video we will be hopping over to the Kanto region, and if you've played Red, Blue and Yellow and all the other games that involved that region, you will know which Pokemon I have lined up for you. Let's get into the video. Okay, starting off, if you've played any of the Red, Blue and Yellow games, you'll notice that there are 3 legendary bird Pokemon. Starting it out, this one is my fashion of the Pokemon Articuno. Now as you can see, I've gone with the Blade of the Lotus helmet for this, along with the Concura skin. Now if you've got the Concura skin, then you would have gotten it for free. If not, then I'm not sure when it will be brought to you again. For the animation, I've used the Wisp Noble, because when you look at Articuno, it's always like floating in the midair. For the colours, you will need the Tenno colour palette, and we'll be using majority this blue. Now, I've gone through other blues. I'm not really sure there are any other options for a better feather count, but for the secondary, I've gone with this light blue from the Transmission. Now, don't ask me where to find it, because I'm not quite sure where Transmission has come from. As for the tertiary and accents, it's from the Ice palette, and for the accents, it is also ice, but a little bit lighter. For the emissives, I've used red with purple, because when you look at Articuno, it's got like a reddish coloured eye, and the energy colour is light blue from ice. As for the attachments, I have used the tennocon 2022 chest plate, because I just wanted to add a bit more blue to the chest, because it's got this massive spike at the front. Totally could pull off Reshiram with this maybe. As for the attachments, I've used the Prisma Avia. Now you could probably use any Avia for this, but this is the only version of Avia that I have. For the legs, I used the Nymore. I'm pretty sure you can get it from Nightwave. For the ephemera, I've used Didima, and no Signa was used at all. The colours are pretty much just copied and pasted from the main colour, followed by the primary and secondary, I think, being swapped over. Now, for the Syandana, yeah, you probably want to add feathers, but this is literally the closest I could get to maybe adding feathers in general, and I've used this blue from Tenno, followed by the same sort of colours from like ice and the main colours really. Anyway, that is my Articuno. Let's move on to the next one. It will be Zapdos. Alrighty, now then, this is my next fashion. This is my fashion of Zapdos. As you can see, I've attempted to make it as edgy as possible, because when you look at Zapdos, it's just covered in spikes. Now, if you're on PlayStation, you can buy this for Platinum. If not, you're on PC, you will need to fork up the cash. I've used the Skyron helmet. Now, that's up to you if you want to use it. It might just be better for you to use the Hagoromo helmet, but I prefer the pointy beak, because Zapdos has a pointy beak. Followed by the Hagoromo skin and the Wisp Noble animation. For the colours, I have used this yellow here from the Fire palette. Now, following up with the black, because you want, well, when you look at Zapdos, it's got black in places. The brown I used simply because he has a brownish coloured beak and feet. Followed by brownish accents as well from Storm palette. Moving on to the energy colours and the emissives, I've just used yellow. The first one I added black, it's added a bit more depth. And for the attachments, I've used the Astera. Now, you could probably use different attachments, it's up to you. You don't have to copy what I've did, but these are just a baseline for the colours. I've used the Jagger shoulder bolts, the halter leg guards from the Loki Knave bundle, so you will need to obtain that if you want it, or want to use it. For the Vengeful Charge ephemera, you will need a Kuvalich with the Electric Progenitor. And for the Signa, I used the Zamiru, because it makes the head look a little bit more spiky. For the colours, I've pretty much just used the same colours from the main colour lineup. And for the Syandana, I have gone and used the Velesti, because it's not really taily or wingy, but it's still spiky, and Zapdos works for the spikes. Anyway, very basic, but that is my Zapdos. Next up, this is my fashion of Moltres. Now, if you want this Signa, you will have to do the latest Nightwave, as it is only available during this time in there. So I have used the Conqueror helmet, which was given away for free after a certain point, and the Zephyr Skyron skin. I could probably have used a different one. Probably could have used. No, I don't think so. Anyway, for the primary colours, I have used this orange from Fire, and used it again, but a little bit darker on the secondary. On the tertiary and the accents, I've added more reddish oranges from the Fire palette, and it just simply alters the arms, make them look a little bit more like they're on fire. For the energy, I've used red because I haven't really formed, otherwise I would have used orange and red to give it that flamey effect. For the attachments, I've used, again, the tennocon 2022 chest plate, and it's up to you if you want to use it. I found it was the only one that really sat well on it, on Zephyr Prime in the skin. As per the shoulder attachments, I used Heartwood. Now, Heartwood you can only obtain from the Titania Deluxe, like, I can't remember what the name is, but it's very insecty looking and, well, more than normal, and has wings that are dragging down the back like a dress. For the legs, I used Protovire. Now, this is totally up to you. I didn't really want to use anything particular, but I wanted to add a bit more flame effect to it. For the tail, I've used Okuri Prime Tails Ephemera. Now, you're probably wondering why. So when you look at Moltres, its tail is usually a thick, wavy line of fire. So this pretty much follows that same logic. And yeah, I'll admit, the spikes doesn't really work, but whatever's. For the helmet, for the Signa, it's the Diraeus Signa that you can get from the obtained through the Nightwave, which is these skulls, but the flamey effect at the back really works. Now, as for the Syandana, I have used the Volca Syandana. Now, for this, you will need to purchase the Ember Deluxe that uses this skin. I'm pretty sure it's the Pyrax. Is it Pyraxis? Followed by and then with the colours, use the pretty much the same colours that you used from the attachments or from the body. It is completely up to you. And there you go. That is Moltres. The Spirit Does Fashion here halfway through the video, and just to let you know that my friend over on Twitch called Oops Wasabi is hosting a fashion show every Friday. The reward is, of course, a 165 platinum skin giveaway that all you have to do to enter is hop over to his channel, subscribe to his channel, of course, message him in the game at Oops Wasabi, and I'll see you there. That's pretty much all there is to it. See you Friday. Up is Pokedex number 151, aka Mewtwo, the genetic Pokemon created by humans using DNA found from fossils of the Pokemon Mew. Now, for this, I would find either the Bastet helmet or the Carnifex? No. Either the heirloom or the Bastet helmet would work in this with the Leonessa skin, because when you add the Prime, it adds a bit more purple to here to reflect the tummy that Mewtwo has. For the colours, you want to head over to Eminence to get, where is it gone? To get this one for the pale skin, because when you look at Mewtwo, it is purplish. It's like a paley purple. For the secondary, you want to take over to this purple here from the Hallows Eve, which can only be obtained through Halloween. Now, for the tertiary, you want to copy the colour from the primary, and for the accents, get a well, I use this, but I'm pretty sure you can find a better option. As for the energy colours, I've used red and purple. I wasn't really sure why, but it works for that. And for the psychic energy colour, I have given it this purple from Eminence right here, and this pale purple from the Agony. So you might want to find a different option if you don't have the Kuvalich bundle pack. As for the attachments, I've used the Kuva Tolon chest plate because in my opinion that is the best armour piece on the chest for a Mewtwo fashion. Now, you will need to get the Kuvalich collection if you if you don't already have it. It is 820 plat on console. I'm not sure how much it is in the PC version. Now, I didn't really need anything on the arms, so we'll just leave those bare. For the legs, I've used Kuva Strag leg plates because it just felt right, which again, Kuvalich bundle. For the, well, I only really added these because I thought it would be cool. the Vengeful Toxin Ephemera to give it that energy-based effect. And for the Cyandana, I simply went with the Merulina Cyandana and changed the colours to this purple from Hallows Eve and this purple from Hallows Eve again, followed by the same colours used on the main fashion. And there you go, that is my fashion of the Pokemon Mewtwo. For this one, it's basically Mewtwo, same Mewtwo skin, but instead what I've done is I've added certain armor pieces to make it look like the armored Mewtwo featured in Pokemon Mewtwo Strikes Back, where he was tricked by Giovanni into making him more powerful, and he was given an armor set that made him a bit more easier to control, but unfortunately he broke free. For this, you will simply just need to hop over to the attachments and change the lineup to the Kuvaltolon chest plate, which was already on it, the Ace of Pecs shoulder plates, the She leg plates, and the Hunculus ephemera, which you can only obtain with the 2026 tennocon bundle, the visor signa, which came with the latest Gauss Deluxe. For the colours, I would recommend going down to the primary. You know, for this, when you look at his armour, it's mostly just like a very dark grey, so you want to be using the smoke palette and colour it to mostly on the tertiary, the accents and the primary, and then change the energy colour to black and white so that you can get this nice little energy colour orb. And that's pretty much all you need to change for the armoured version of Mewtwo. Really created a fashion of Mew herself, but this was, I wanted something nice and small, and I think this would work. The head, I will admit, not my best option, but unfortunately I don't have the Kavat head armor that you can only get from Baragutir during certain time. So what I have got instead is the Sprite Shade skin to give off those 2 extra large legs, and these parts of the what is it called? It's the Nautilus Sentinel wings. Now, I'd probably go for the prime parts, but I don't have them, so whatever. For the colours, you simply want to go down the pink line, so I would go for Matisse, followed by a little bit darker on this one, and the tertiary and accents are from that same palette, and the energy colour is purple, along with the emissive is exactly the same, and the attachments are exactly the same, except the energy colour is slightly off. It is on Twilight, and the emissive adds the blue colour in the middle, because when you look at Mew, it has blue eyes. And there you go, that is my fashion of the Pokemon Mew. Video, I hope the midway advertisement was to your liking. I'm not very good at it, I'll be honest, but yes, head on over to Oops Wasabi on Twitch and ask for her to be invited to his Discord, and message him in game when instructed for the Fashion Frame Fridays contest, and I'll see you there. So have a good day, hope you liked these fashions. Let's get into the next video.